Hello everyone, welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for geography. So students, as the prelims approaches, you should know that our knowledge alone, whatever you have studied until now, is always not sufficient to clear the exam. Sometimes you have to go beyond our knowledge, use our logical understanding, our logical ability, common sense to score more, to score the questions, to score more, to attempt more questions, so that ultimately you are qualifying very safely in the prelims exam. So, expecting that everything I would be studying and everything, whatever I have studied, questions would be coming up only out of that. By now, you should have realized that it is not going to happen. Okay, we are not living in that fantasy world. So, definitely, there are certain skills which we need to have to clear this exam. Let us understand about such kind of skills. And these are the skills which are primarily used by most of the qualifiers who get the prelims right, especially even if you see the forest exam and all those kind of things where the cutoff tends to be slightly higher. The techniques which they follow is very important for us to understand, realize, apply, see what works, what not works for us. Blindly, anyone says anything to you, you should not blindly do that in the exam. Test yourself. Do it in the laboratories. Do the PYQ testing. Do it on your own. Then see whether it works on or not on the exam day. Right? Don't do it blindly on the exam day. Test yourself in the PYQs, in the mocks. Then apply. That is when you will get it probably right. So with that, let us see how you have to go beyond your knowledge, use your common sense and logical thinking for you to attempt more questions, 85 to 90% of the questions, and improve your score. Let us do that with the PYQ examples. Now you see here, there is a statement given from the 2023 paper. Whenever you see these kind of statement based questions, there is a probability of one of the statement getting it wrong and automatically you will get the option right. There is no confusion here. If you say statement 1 is wrong, you will get straight automatically D is the option. Statement 2 is wrong, automatically C is the answer. Sometimes our luck would be helping us. Not every time, but sometimes. Let us see that. Recently, the United States of America and European Union have launched the Trade and Technology Council. With the multiple pacts happening across the world, agreements, groupings, and all, trade and all, there is a distant possibility that such things might happen, especially USA and European Union. What if tomorrow, if they say USA and Russia? Definitely, that becomes a bigger, hotter topic, no? Everyone would have known that. That's how you can think. What if tomorrow, if they say Iran and Saudi Arabia, West Asia conflict? What if they say India and Pakistan? What if they say Israel and Iran? Such kind of things. Or there are some common friends, Pakistan, China, sharing. There is a possibility. You can think on those lines. Definitely, there is a possibility of this happening. Then you see, USA and European claim that through this, they are trying to provide the technological progress and physical productivity under their control. The problem is under their control. Do you really think that under their control? Do you submit your autonomy? Control means what? Is it all about autonomy? Right? Why would you give your autonomy? Definitely, this statement seems wrong to me. You are not confident, but your understanding about the agreements of international relations and all would give you an idea that this is possibly wrong. Your strong intuitions of that should push you that statement 2 is wrong. Automatically, this is the answer. That is how you can score and improve your marks. Similarly, let us see what if you get it wrong sometimes. How can you get it wrong? Think. I'm not here to tell you only the logically, this is how you have to get it right. Sometimes you'll also get it wrong. This is an example how you can get it wrong. Let us see this. So there is a concept here. They're asking about something about infrastructure sectors. Okay. Infrastructure sectors. They're talking about how many of the above does the Sustainable Investments in Infrastructure and Innovation Initiative focus on this. Now, the Sustainable Investments Infrastructure and Innovation Initiative are part of how many of these above? That's what the question is asking. Now, whenever you talk about the word sustainable, is it not about social? Okay, is it not about social, economic, environmental? If you see from those lines, definitely affordable housing is very important for various social sections of a community. Definitely it could be right, housing, right? Renewable energy, environmental, you know that it is very, very important. There is no way that renewable energy is the future. There is no, that definitely they would be doing it. There is no debate about number 4. So now you see, when you see that 2 are definitely are there, you are only eliminating this one. Healthcare, yes, investments, affordable infrastructure sector, sustainable investments in infrastructure and all, definitely there is a possibility that this is also right. Mass rapid transport system, acha transport, especially say if you say public transport, metro, quick transport and all, you might feel that this is also right. Yeah, you might assume that this is right, but unfortunately this is wrong. The right answer is 3. But in the exam, imagine that you assume that all of them are right and you went for D as an option. It is quite okay. The right answer is 1, 3 and 4. But if you went for all of them as right also, it is quite okay. Why it is okay? Let me tell you this. See, take the scenario. I think this is a very, very basic thing. You should have already done that. See, there are 100 questions in the exam. Okay, 100 questions. Imagine you got 30 to 40 questions right in your first round. Okay, let us see. Imagine you got, based on your knowledge, your understanding itself, you got 30 questions right. You have attempted 30, 30 into 2, 60 marks. This is scenario A. Scenario B says that you have attempted 40 questions, 40 into 2, 80 marks. Okay, that is your first round. That is based on your knowledge. Based on your knowledge. This is very, very important. Okay, then imagine you got it wrong. How many you got it wrong? Say you got around 6 questions wrong. For easy calculation, I'm trying to do it here, right? 6 questions wrong. Okay, 6 questions wrong means minus 2 questions. 6 questions wrong, 1/3. You have to eliminate 2 questions. So 2 into 2, 4 marks are lost. So minus 4 marks. You got around 56. Minus 4 marks, you got around say 76. In both the scenarios, say you have done exceptionally well. 76 in your first round out of 40 questions you are doing. But in the exam, you will not have the confidence to leave the paper with these 40 questions. Definitely you cannot do that. If you are doing that, then you are a big gambler or you are extremely confident about your knowledge and sometimes it might not work it. You have to push beyond your expectations. So if you wanted to get a score of 100 plus, definitely you have to go beyond this. Many of you are already doing that. You should do this. How to do that? Now in your second round, see, let me decode this myth. There, you cannot guesswork and do that. You have to do that. Let you see this. Imagine you have attempted another 40 questions. Now you see 40 plus 40, 80, you have left over, okay, for the third round. No 20 questions are attempted. 20 questions are not attempted, okay. 20 questions not attempted, okay. Imagine, fairly I would say in the exam that you have to go for 85 to 90 questions. 10 questions you can ignore. But definitely imagine on a worst case, the paper is very tough. 20 questions you did not attempt. Then you see, imagine out of these 40 questions where you are taking a calculative guesswork. Imagine on your worst day, you got around 10 wrong. You got your 10 right, sorry, and you got 30 wrong. 30 wrong. Imagine your worst possible day, no? This is the worst possible scenario. Look at this outcome. 10 right, 30 wrong. 1/3, 10, equal. So your net, neutral. No positive, no negative. Your score is not changing. But what if, even if the number becomes 9 right and 11 right and 29 wrong, you are in a positive. What if it becomes 15 right and 25 wrong? Your positivity increase. What if it is 50-50? That is when you will score good marks. For this, you have to practice, you have to understand, you have to apply. Application is very much needed. Let us see this now. With this application, even though if you have got this wrong, it is quite okay, yaar. It's okay, absolutely. One question wrong. It is not, you are taking a calculative guesswork. You are bound to get it wrong. Accept that you will do mistakes. I think many of you, see, things are changing. You have to adapt. You cannot have a fixed strategy. You have to go day by day, right? Look at that. If you are fond of cricket, look at this. There is a player by name Cheteshwar Pujara, Rahul Dravid. These are test match players. We are in the era of T20. People are adapting to that as well, right? Yes, they are adapting. Rahul Dravid, very good adaptation. Virat Kohli, look at this one. Everyone was criticizing him this year, right? What did he do? He is one of the highest number of, he is one of the main player from India who has scored decent number of sixes. That is how you have to think. You have to understand and grow it forward, right? Then as you see it, as you move forward, now you see it. Even though there are certain questions, what I'm trying to tell you is I am pushing you to attempt such kind of questions so that eventually you will be at net positive. That is the idea. I am giving a worst possible scenario just now. I have shown you that you are not losing anything. What if a good day happens? That's the thing. Do you really think that you have taken a calculated guesswork of 40 questions and all 40 will be wrong? Do you think so? Right? Please think over. You are understanding your vast amount of knowledge. You are already into your 20s and late 20s, many of you sometimes. Definitely, there is a decent enough of knowledge. Believe, have that faith in you. Okay, confidence, self-belief. If you don't believe, who would be believing on you? You have to believe, then your loved ones, then your Venkatesh Sir faculty, right? I come after your family. No, definitely. I would be having definitely good belief on you if you are thinking on those lines. This is my guarantee to you. How can you do this guarantee? Practice, no? Then only you'll get to know. Now you see this one. One of the logic people say that the moment you say extreme statement, say that it is wrong. But UPSC also has known that extreme statements are sometimes could be right. And UPSC also have observed that this is the trend which many of the aspirants are doing it. So UPSC also is playing a trick. Now you see this one. This was a question asked in 2019. Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. The moment you talk about big animals, lion, tiger and all, let us see our common sense. The moment I say lion, don't we all think about the Lion King, Africa, Savannah? Yes. And we all know that Gir forest in India has Asiatic lions. So in India, when I talk about lions, Asiatic lions, India, we have seen this picture. If lion is such a big animal, somewhere among our studies, we might have seen that it is also, say, for example, it is found in Iran, say it is found in China, say it is found in, say, Thailand. We might have seen the pictures, no? Definitely, if it is right, who might have, if the statement is wrong, it is found in other places, who might have seen the pictures. Somewhere you might have heard about it. Say for tiger, is it not a countries coming together, having a good agreements, migration patterns, observations, technological sharing, all those kind of things would be done, no? Whenever there is a country, when the countries, for example, when the habitat is being shared by, you see a tiger, the tiger can move from India to Bhutan, Bhutan to China, then to Nepal and all. It can vary, no? So definitely, when the countries have, when the animals are largely migratory in nature, and when they frequently change from one place to another, there would be sharing of agreements, there would be migratory paths, there will be technological pacts in terms of observations of the routes and all. You would have done that, no? If Asiatic lion is also in the same way, there would have been something like that. India, Iran agreements on Asiatic lion, just like we have done on cheetah. There might be there. Have you ever studied on such things? No. What does it indicate? It indicates that this statement is right because you have never studied it. Trust your instinct, no? That your instinct is your ability of what is UPSC expecting out of you. Then, you see, one-horned rhino, which is very, very popular, Assam, 𝐂𝐨𝐸𝐷𝐍𝐈𝐑𝐍𝐀𝐘 National Park, is naturally found in India only. If that is the case, if it is found in Assam, we have never said it is found in only in India. We said that it is popular in 𝐂𝐨𝐸𝐷𝐍𝐈𝐑𝐸𝐷𝐍𝐀𝐘. If it is there, you might have heard about this. When you study, one-horned rhino is found in 𝐂𝐨𝐸𝐷𝐍𝐈𝐑𝐸𝐷𝐍𝐀𝐘, Orang National Park, Pobitara Wildlife Sanctuary, all those places in Assam. If that is the case, there is a distinct possibility that at least one-horned rhino can be found in the regions like Nepal, Bhutan, very near to it, Bhutan, right? So there is a probability that this statement is wrong. It is found in Nepal, Bhutan and all. So definitely this statement is wrong. But if you don't know it, how can you calculate to guess? Now if you see this statement is wrong, automatically you have eliminated this. Left between A and B, Asiatic lion versus camel. The moment you are confusing between Asiatic lion and camel, think, oh, it is camel. Camels are found in India, Pakistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, wherever the deserts are there, Saharan desert, so many countries, Mongolian desert, Gobi desert, so many deserts. Don't we think that there might be at least one double-humped camel somewhere? There is a distant possibility. So comparison between camel and lion, this could be probably going wrong. You'll get it right. Look at my logical understanding. That understanding is an outcome of a basic idea of animals and their distribution out of environment. That is when I'm able to do that. Otherwise, if I did not study anything, the moment I see the question, thank you very much. That is how you can guess. Then, see this one. Some mushrooms have medicinal properties. Some mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Some mushrooms have insecticidal properties, have bioluminescent properties. Some. The moment they say some, there is a probability that everything could have occurred. Possibly. So that indicates that possibly it is right. Sir, how do you know? Take a calculator to guess, no? Take all the questions in the last 3 to 5 years where the questions are asked on this model. Check. If UPSC sees that this is probably it is right, it's okay. Sometimes when you see, when I prepare questions to make it interesting and all, sometimes I might change this. Maybe some they don't have at all. It might be true. Only three statements are right, one is wrong. But UPSC, see, look at the trends. All this some kind of things mostly talks about more probability indicating that it is right. That's how you have to guess. Yes, out of that, out of 40, you will not get it right here. But there is a fair chance of doing very well. Now you see one. Next question. Whenever you talk about India's imports and exports, we have already seen that there is an imbalance. Our exports are much lower than our imports. India wanted to increase wanted to be having a good role in the international relations and all. We are a multipolar world. Definitely for us, India to have and all those kind of things. Our exports should increase so that the country's dependence on India would increase. If that is the case, India's exports would have been fairly very high. And when you all talk about it, you should have known that India accounts for what is the extent of roughly the global export of goods. What is the share of India's exports? It will be varying around 1.5 to 2%, say 1.8. Definitely it would not be around 3.2%. If it is known that it's a decent share, would have known that. Yes, this is a mix of knowledge plus logic, not completely only without lack of knowledge. Something is there is a mix. Then you can see, then automatically this statement is, as I said, sometimes some statement based questions, one is would be wrong, automatically one is wrong. There is easy audibility. There is no confusion here. That is the thing. And definitely production linked incentive scheme, there is a distant possibility that so many companies can operate in India using this kind of a government incentive. Yes. Now you see this question. This is where I want you to think. Okay. There is a concept called small farmer, large field. Whenever UPSC creates such kind of questions, some random statement, vague word, history, polity, international relations, and all these kind of things, there is a distant possibility that you will be always confusion between two options. Whenever you are confusing between two options, you have to attempt such kind of questions. And when you talk about agriculture, the background, if you have studied, you have the three formulas. One is talking about, cooperative farming, right? You know that by India by nature has more small and marginal farmers. How you can bring the contract farming, cooperative or the contract farming, whatever you call that, right? There is a decent amount of contract farming idea. With this background, when you study, now you will realize that what is the possibility of this concept. Any kind of a concept which comes up in agriculture, it is only to solve the present problems, no? We don't create new problems alone, no? The basic idea is to solve the present problems, understand the present nature of India's agriculture and try to solve them. If you see from that angle, which one of the following best describes the concept of small farmer and larger field? Now you see here. Many marginal farmers in an area together make a contract with a corporate body. Okay, there are farmers which are coming in an area, coming with a contract with a corporate body. Now you see this word, they are surrendering their land to their corporate body. Surrender. Completely, why would you surrender the land? If you surrender it, then there had to be some kind of decent benefit out of that. So surrender to a corporate body, that indicates that that might be a bigger one. Probably, I would say that this could be wrong. It could happen somewhere, I don't know, but probably it could be wrong. My guess works. A company extends loans, technical knowledge, material inputs to a number of small farmers so that they produce the agriculture commodity required for its manufacturing processes. For its manufacturing process and all, company extending loans, technical knowledge and material inputs. Why would you call that small farmer large field? What is the idea of that? Definitely it is more industrial, right? Now you see here, many marginal farmers in an area organize themselves, in the groups, synchronize and harmonize selected agriculture operations, ultimately to get the benefits of cooperative farming, to distribute the risk. Definitely there is a possibility that it could be right. It could be, as of now, still we don't get it right. We could be, right? Then you see the statement one, resettlement. There are certain people who have resettled, maybe a migration, okay, uprooted from their village, a large cultivated land, and they cultivate collectively and there. Now, resettlement of a large number versus many marginal farmers. Look at between option A and B. I would definitely go that there is a high chance for B than A. Look at this. Your basic understanding about the events happening around us, your basic understanding about this, that is how they create. UPSC also wants to expect, they are also expecting out of you that by checking your what are the trends happening in the present era, no? That is how you have to observe. Moving forward, now you see this question. This was also a very random based question. You have never studied anything about the coal-based thermal power plants in detail about all their plants and their location in India, but use common sense. With reference to coal-based thermal power plants in India, consider the following statements. If your background, if you know that even now and by 2030, what is the extent of coal? It would be always around 50%. Coal-based thermal power plants. Our additional increase, which would happen year by year and all, we are increasing through renewable energy now. This is the thing. You have to live with the reality that despite the adverse effects of coal, it is inevitable for our developmental process. If that is the case, with that logic, coal-based thermal power plants in India, you see, none of them uses seawater. You know that coal-based thermal power plants, they might use some water. Don't you think that India has a vast coastline of almost around 7,516 kilometers? There is not even one power plant which is using seawater. There might be one company which is very, very near to a coastline, wanted to utilize the seawater. They might have some technologies of removing the salt, desalination plants and all, and they are using it. There is a distinct possibility. So, this statement seems wrong. None of them is set up in water stress district. Such a big country, such a big region which might have water stresses because of the vagaries of monsoons. Don't you really think that at least one plant in one district is there where that happens to be a water stress district? This also logically it seems wrong. None of them is privately owned. In this era of privatization, in this era of increasing disinvestment and all from the government, don't you think that coal would not have been privatized? Definitely somewhere. We also have coal auctions. We did have about this, right? When you see from all these things, there would be definitely some kind of a private player. Okay, definitely it is privately owned. This is also wrong. Answer is none. Look at your intuition, look at your knowledge. Don't know anything, but probably, say example, you are definitely sure about 1 and 2, but confusing between 3. Then also, your option should be only 1 and none. When you are confusing between 2 options, you should go for such questions. Whether you get it right or wrong, that comes secondary. Because with your knowledge, with your practice, definitely, I don't think that when you have attempted such kind of questions over among all the logical understanding and all, net you would be in profit. Don't go by question, go by net outcome. Tomorrow what you do? Take a mock test. Take the first round. Definitely all the questions which are right. In your first attempt, the moment you see the question, I know this is answer for sure. Yes, attempt it. Leave those questions. Now take a calculated guesswork among the questions which you don't know. Do it. Look at your outcome. You would realize, right? That is how you do that. Maybe initially you are doing only few, but with time you can increase. Next one. Now you see, this is an old question. Steel slag can be the material for which of the following? Now you see, you might not have heard about steel slag, the leftover remnants and all those kind of things. You might have not heard about it, but can be the material. This itself the probability. Construction of a base road. What do you need for a road? When you see that we are using even plastic as part of the road so that we are not dumping in the environment, there is a plastic based road also. There is also a waste, and waste to resource is a good theme. There might be some ideas where you can use steel slag even as part of the road. Definitely steel slag has variety of organic materials as well. And when you talk about steel raw materials and all, you get the variety of materials. There is a possibility that that raw material can be used for improving the agriculture soil, because ultimately the steel and all, when you get it from the iron ore, it is raw material and slag is a leftover one, right? And definitely there is might be technology somewhere. Production of cement might also happen. These are all probabilities. Maybe you say construction of base road, yes, agriculture soil, yes. Confusion is only between 3. Then also you are eliminating at least the 2 options, no? You are confusing between A and D. Take a calculative guesswork within this. Probably, say this is probably 70% you are getting it, assuming that it is right. Say you are assuming this is a 60%. Say this is assuming you are around 55%, but you are not sure. Then you take a calculative guesswork. At least if you are coming to this point of almost A, maybe luck permits on your day, you might go to D. But if it goes wrong, so be it. I'm not saying that you will not go wrong, no. See, I'm here to take a practical thing. Look at how many questions I have taken, how many you are probably getting it wrong. Practice, no? Go and check, do practice, then you will realize. Then you see. This was a question also they are asking about. This is also probably going it wrong. With reference to legislative assembly of a state, consider the following statements. The governor makes a customary address to members of the house at the commencement of the first session of the year, just like a president does for a parliament. So probably it could be right. When a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. Now you see, when a state legislature does not have a rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that matter. What if there is no rule? What will you do? If there is no rule, there might be some rules of an agreement and all. The probability scenario says that probably you might assume that this could be also right. Right? This could be also right because logical says that there has to be some mechanism. No, there has to be some mechanism. If there is some mechanism, if there is don't have such a mechanism, then there is a challenge. Some mechanism. You have to have a rule, no? When there does not have a rule on a particular matter, what is the better method? Always, majority of the things of the assembly are shared from the parliament. There is a distant possibility of this also might happen. This is, you will go for C. In the exam, I have seen that this statement too, there are other rules which are mentioned for this. So this statement happens to be wrong. Then your answer is A only. But even though if you are confusing for C, it's fairly okay because such kind of logical understanding eventually will get you right. Okay. So look at this. I have given 3 questions. Probably you might go wrong. But look at the remaining things. Probably you might get it right. Look at the outcome. You are still in positive. Sincerely, you can see here, green hydrogen. When you know that renewable energy is so much in use, green hydrogen is so much in use, technological advancements of that they are asking. It can, as a fuel for internal combustion, it can be blended with natural gas. It can be used. You see this one. What is green hydrogen? What is blue hydrogen? What is gray hydrogen? Study all those kind of things. There is a distant possibility that all of them are right. All are right. Right? That's the technological things. That is how your intuition. If nothing is seen very, very abnormal. Think, logic, understanding. Oh, it can happen. No, it can. Oh, this might not happen. Look at that logic. With that, with your basic understanding, with the trends of UPSC, then you can see it. When you know that whole world is focusing on renewable energy, when you have studied something about green, blue, gray, hydrogen, so many varieties, it could happen. Now you see this question, very, very old. Look at this one. There's something else. Now see, that's what, no? I've got the examples from environment, from basic understanding of geography, from economy, from polity, from even art and culture now. You see this one. Which of the following are famous sun temples? Of course, sun temples, understanding and all, if you don't know, then also how can you get it right? See here. There is a place called Arasvalli in Andhra Pradesh. I have been there. So definitely I know that Arasvalli is a sun temple. Surya Narayana temple, that's the name itself. Definitely I know it. So I know that one is Arasvalli, definitely right. What if you don't know? What if you don't know Arasvalli? You have heard this word for the first time. Then also you think, among these options, you have to practice this before the exam. Then only you'll get this confidence, not in the exam. Okay. please make it sure that you are practicing before the exam, not in the exam. In the exam, then you are doing, you have a good poker face, your luck. But the practice and the intuitions before, that should guide you. See, when you see here, ॐ Kareshwar, Are Om Kareshwar, Ishwar, Sun Temple. How can it be? Think. Oh, yes. This is a Sun Temple. Nowadays, with all the religious things which are in use, you might have heard about it. But Jyotirlingas, if you have studied somewhere, you know that this is not a Sun Temple. Sun Temple, Konark, everyone would say that. Definitely, they are not asking that. Om Kareshwar, think. Okay, this is wrong. The moment you got 3 wrong, you are getting. Your confidence about Omkareshwar should be dominating here, that automatically you are getting Araswali without your knowledge. When I have attempted this question in the 2017 paper, I know personally Araswali is there, so automatically I have eliminated B. Then I calculated guesswork on Amar Omkareshwar itself, then only I got it right. That is how you practice. I hope you have understood this. You see this one. There are different techniques. Okay. What you do? Observe. Add value to your preparation of how to do it. Then practice. Understand your strength, weaknesses, your strength, your weaknesses. For example, in this kind of guesswork, I am doing fairly well in geography, but I am not doing fairly well in, say, in polity. That means polity might not be your stronghold. What is polity? You know the basic nuances of constitution. What is the idea of a constitution? How does the things work in a parliamentary system and all. Similarly, international relations, how does the thing it works? Science and technology, how it could work and all. Different walks of life, different intuitions. Use it somewhere, increase your knowledge. My idea here is I need to upskill your MCQ things. I have upskilled your MCQ things. Outcome is done. Tell me about whether this is useful in the comment section here, so that anything more you want, I'm always here to guide you. Okay, drop down your comments in the comment section, so that the more you learn and understand, I'm happy to help you, right? Anything more you want to do, to give some ideas, to take some random questions of the paper and I want you to guide you, definitely please let me know. Right, then if you want the PDF file of this paper, you can get it by my Telegram channel. You see, I have given you endless idea here. The basic idea is this: common sense is not so common. Use this common sense, improve your upskilling, improve your score by upskilling yourself, and move forward. And if you want the PDF file, you can always get into my Telegram channel. You will get the PDF file there. And if you still have any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you all of you. Have a good time. Jai Hind. Prepare very well.